Hello students, today we are going to continue with chapter 5 Contemporary South Asia of our class 12th political science textbook Contemporary World Politics. We have already seen a video of this chapter where we had studied about what is South Asia and the political system in Pakistan. Today we will study about Bangladesh and Nepal, the two other regions in South Asia. So let us just recap and know what is South Asia. As you see, South Asia is a region which got its independence only after 1947, starting with India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Because India, Pakistan, Bangladesh were all one, so they all got separated together. They all got independent together. Then there was Myanmar and Sri Lanka also. And so all these countries became free together. And so it was very important for these countries to stay together, to be good neighbors. Because you cannot choose your neighbors. Your neighbors are there and you cannot just change them because it's a geography. These countries will never go away from here. They will always be together. And so it is important that these countries have to have a good relationship. And as political science students, it is also important to study the relations between these countries. As we have seen, the relations between these countries has always not been very good. We have already studied about Pakistan. We know about India and Pakistan relationship. How much ever we have tried to improve the relationship goes back to the same stage where it was before. Similarly, we have another country which is a very close neighbor from which we share our history with, because this country was also a part of our own India before partition, and that is Bangladesh. Take a look at these two maps where you can see India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So this is British India map, where the purple part of the map is India, the pink part is West Pakistan, and the small pink is also East Pakistan. So you see, in British India, this whole area, the pink and the purple together, all this was India. Lower below here, this is Sri Lanka. Okay. Now come to the present map. This is the present map of India, where the white portion is those areas which are not Indian borders. Okay. So this is Pakistan. You see, we share such a big boundary with Pakistan. Then this is China, which is very much into South Asia, but we are not studying it as a part of South Asia. You have Nepal again, another bordering country of India. You have Bhutan here, another bordering country of India. Bangladesh, which was a part of India before independence. Then Myanmar and Sri Lanka. So these are all your South Asian countries which are all together. This is just to show you the contrast of the map, that this was the map before and this is the map now of India and other countries. So you see, when Indian partition took place, when India got partitioned by the Britishers in 1947, one part of India, the west part of India, this area was named Pakistan. And this part of India, which is near to Bengal and Assam, was called East Pakistan. So East Pakistan was a part of West Pakistan. These are both Pakistan. So these both were part of each other. You see how difficult it must have been for West Pakistan to rule over East Pakistan too. And East Pakistan was also not very happy with what was happening on it by West Pakistan. The domination of West Pakistan was not welcome in East Pakistan. Let us know why. See, Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan from 1947 to 1971. It consisted of the partitioned areas of Bengal and Assam from British India. We have seen that in this map. Okay, this Bengal Assam area, this area is all Bangladesh. Now it's Bangladesh, it was Pakistan, East Pakistan. So the people of this region were against the domination of Western Pakistan, because West Pakistan, being a Muslim country following Islam as religion, they imposed Urdu as a language, which the Bengali culture and language of East Pakistan was not ready to accept. because East Pakistan had a Bengali culture. As you can see in the map, they are close to Bangladesh, Bengal, Assam and Bengal, Meghalaya, Assam, West Bengal. You see, West Bengal and Bangladesh, they shared the boundaries. They were all Bangladesh. They were all Bengal before, and suddenly they were made into a different country. So they were not ready for the domination which was imposed by West Pakistan. The language, the culture, everything was different. And they started to protest. Okay, under the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, they started to protest against West Pakistan domination, and Mujibur Rahman demanded for autonomy for the eastern region. Elections are held in 1970 in Pakistan, and Pakistan had felt that it will win the elections. But in the East Pakistan part, that is the Bangladesh part, in the East Pakistan part, Awami League led by Sheikh Mujib won all the seats. Awami League was the name of the party, which was headed by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So Sheikh Mujib won all the seats. His party, Awami League, won all these seats and secured a majority in the proposed Constituent Assembly. Now, this was not welcomed by the West Pakistan parties. Okay, so they refused to convene the assembly and they refused to let Sheikh Mujib rule. And so he was arrested. And General Yahya Khan, he was the military ruler of Pakistan, he tried to suppress the mass movement of Bengali people. Now, thousands were killed by the Pakistani army, the Bengali people, thousands of Bengali people were killed by the Pakistani. These Bengali peoples are the ones who were living in East Pakistan, okay? So, thousands of them were killed by the Pakistani army. Now, this led to migration. अब migrate होके कहाँ जाएंगे? आपने मैप में देखा है, फिर से देखिए. माइग्रेट होके लोग कहाँ जाएंगे? ये लोग जो यहाँ रह रहे हैं, ये वाली कंट्री, ये वाले पार्ट ऑफ पाकिस्तान इज टॉर्चरिंग देम, इज किलिंग देम. तो ये कहाँ भागेंगे? अगर इन्हें भागना होगा तो ये कहाँ भागेंगे? कहीं से भी कोशिश करेंगे तो ये इंडिया में ही भागेंगे. एंड मोस्टली दे विल एंटर वेयर? वेस्ट बंगाल एंड असम, because they were a part of West Bengal and Assam before. So they will enter these states of India. Now, when they started entering these states of India, India started facing the problem of refugees and migrants. वैसे ही इंडिया से प्रॉब्लम थी, कोई इंडिया कौन सा बहुत डेवलप्ड कंट्री थी, ठीक है? So there were problems in India itself. There was pressure from here also. There was pressure from China also. And so this particular situation was not welcome to Indians. And the Indian government started helping the Bangladesh government in trying to solve the problem. It was important to solve that problem. Okay. So क्या किया इंडिया ने? The government of India supported the demand of the people of East Pakistan for their independence and helped them financially and militarily. This resulted in a war between India and Pakistan in December 1971 because Pakistan को ये बात पसंद नहीं आई कि West Pakistan को ये बात पसंद नहीं आई कि India East Pakistan की help कर रहा है. And that is why it resulted in a war. The war was ferocious. It lasted for some time, but in the end, it led to the surrender of the Pakistani forces. West Pakistan lost to India. And so, East Pakistan became free. And the formation of Bangladesh as an independent country happened. So, this is how Bangladesh was born. Okay? ऐसे हुआ बांग्लादेश का जन्म. So, इंडियन की वॉर में, 1971 वॉर में, ईस्ट पाकिस्तान जीत गया इंडिया की मदद से फ्रॉम वेस्ट पाकिस्तान और एक नई कंट्री का जन्म हुआ, दैट इज बांग्लादेश. Now, Bangladesh drafted its constitution. It declared faith in secularism, democracy and socialism. इन सारी चीजों की बात करते हुए they made a constitution. In 1975, Sheikh Mujib, he got the constitution amended और parliamentary system से उसने presidential form of government बना लिया. He abolished all the parties except his own, that is Awami League. So अपना राज चलाना शुरू कर दिया शेख मुजिब ने. As a result, क्या हुआ? He was assassinated in a military uprising in August 1975. The military opposed him and it had a revolt, and in August 1975, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was assassinated. And the new military ruler, Ziaur Rahman, formed his own Bangladesh National Party and won elections in 1979. But he did not last long and he was assassinated in another military takeover, followed under the leadership of Lieutenant General H.M. Irshad. During Irshad's time, the students were in the forefront. Okay. And Irshad was forced to allow political activity on a limited scale. He was later elected as president for 5 years, but due to mass protests, he had to step down in 1990. Elections are held in 1991. Since then, representative democracy based on multi-party election has been working in Bangladesh. So, जिससे शुरू हुआ था democracy and socialism से, वही आज बांग्लादेश में चल रहा है. And again, there is democracy and socialism in Bangladesh. Okay. Later, और भी कई प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स आए और भी लोगों ने गवर्नमेंट्स बनाई. ओके 2008 में there were elections and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's daughter Sheikh Hasina, she was elected as the new prime minister of Bangladesh through Awami League party. Okay, इससे पहले बेगम खालिदा जिया भी आई थी बीच में, who became the prime minister, but then she lost in the next elections and Sheikh Hasina won the elections. And then the recent 2014 elections also, Sheikh Hasina won the elections. And at presently, Sheikh Hasina is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Okay, so the present political system in Bangladesh is unitary parliamentary constitutional republic. The president is Abdul Hamid and the Prime Minister is Sheikh Hasina. So this is about Bangladesh. Next country in South Asia is Nepal. Very close to India. Okay, shares its borders near the Himalayas. It was a Hindu kingdom in the past, and then it has now turned into a constitutional monarchy. Common people of Nepal have wanted a more open and responsive system of government, but the king, with the help of the army, he retained full control over the government and restricted the expansion of democracy in Nepal. But there was a lot of rebellion during the 90s. The Maoists of Nepal were successful in spreading their influence in many parts of Nepal. Maoists are a part of rebel group who work for the people, and they generally feel that they rebel against the government for the welfare of the people, and they mostly live in the forests, etc. So they are hidden, and it is very difficult for the government to catch hold of them also. So they also opposed against this Nepali kingdom, monarchy. And they believed in armed insurrection against the monarch and the ruling elite. Like I told you, they believed in struggle. They did not believe in non-violence, violent way of conflict they had. So there was a violent conflict between Maoist guerrillas and the armed forces of the king. And it was this triangular conflict, you can see, between Democrats who wanted democracy in the country and the Maoists who also wanted the fall of the ruling elite and the monarchy forces. All these three people or three parties kept conflicting with each other and demanding for a new constitution. So the king accepted the demand for a new democratic constitution in 1990 because there was strong pro-democracy movement. In 2002, the king abolished the parliament and dismissed the government. 2006, April 2006, there were massive countrywide pro-democratic protests. The forces achieved their first major victory when the king was forced to restore the House of Representatives that had been dissolved in April 2002. And in 2008, Nepal became a republic. So that is how from a monarchy, Nepal became a republic and has now started following democracy. So the present federal political system in Nepal is a federal parliamentary republic. The president is Vidya Devi Bhandari and the prime minister is Khadak Prasad Sharma Oli. So that is how Pakistan, in Bangladesh also there was rebellion, and even in Nepal also there was rebellion. And both these countries finally have found a way out and made themselves as republics. So these were the nations that which we studied today of South Asia region. And in the next video, we will cover the other countries of the South Asian region. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.